Into an interconference game. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. For myself, Kevin Harlan, and my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. And guys, taking a look at Udonis Haslem, what will we see from him?
You know, one thing about him is that the fans always are interacting with him. They love this guy. You know, what he means to the organization. You see him signing autographs. He's always having fun with his fans. He means a lot to this club.
I think another thing to mention, though, is he is their muscle, a real physical presence. A lot of the time he plays the bodyguard role, the enforcer role. He's the kind of player you love to play with and hate to play against.
A look at the Clippers. They've come out very strong. Their early season play has been excellent.
Kevin, this is really a great team. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to continue to play at this very high level. I mean, that's the makeup of this squad. Good character, tremendous talent, well coached. I mean, they very well could continue to play good basketball.
Yeah, there's no reason to think they won't, Clark, because I think you summed it up very well. I mean, from top to bottom, it's a terrific squad. As long as they stay healthy, I don't expect them to run into a whole lot of speed bumps.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, last year, LeBron said that he was at his peak as a player, both physically and spiritually. You could see it in his eyes, just so confident. Even when things aren't going well, he now has the fortitude to make his way through that and continue to play and finish the game. You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
Wade passes to LeBron. The offensive rebound.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out. Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set.
Well, when you think about the level that LeBron is playing at right now, Clark, do you think he still has room to improve his game?
I think it's just a matter of his experience and picking and choosing his spots. I think his skill set is fantastic. I mean, it's just a matter of staying the course. I don't see much improvement there. He's a terrific shooter from the three and inside the line. He drives it, makes his free throws, passes the ball, rebounds, defends. He wants to be in that 50, 40, 90 club on his shooting percentages, and I think he'll make it happen.
I know he's still working with Ray Allen on the free throw shooting, too.
Yeah.
For Miami, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Miami no good on that time either.
Not really the start they wanted. They missed 3 of their first 4 shots from the field. I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Shane Battier is checked in for Udonis Haslem. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. The Los Angeles Clippers coming to this one after the win against the Thunder.
And the thing I took away from that game was how dominant they were on the boards.
Well, it's impossible not to see that domination. Based on the numbers, it was really lopsided in the rebounding battle.
James kicks to Wade. Moves back up. And LeBron with the nice bucket inside. James has got 5.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Paul dishes to Redick. A three-pointer, no good.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide-open opportunities.
Three-pointer, Wade. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
Let's see the stat sheet here on Jared Dudley. How he performed last season. Averaged about 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Yeah, and he knows he has some areas to work on. But he can be a big-time player at some point in his career.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. I mean, it won't be instant with him, but with each minute that he gets to play, you can see the improvement.
Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible. You know, Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
Now here's Redick. After Dwayne Wade's miss, got that one up quick. Redick's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. And back to Coach Erik Spoelstra, as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat move analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
And a new group getting ready for Miami.
Kevin, well, look here at last year in the NBA where the Clippers ranked. First in steals, 4th in assists. And they also showed up in the top 5 in shooting percentage. This is a team that knows how to execute its offense and get good shots.
And the thing that I liked that you talked about, Clark, was the steals, because to me that's their identity as a ball club. #1 in the league in thefts. They tried to take the ball away from the offense and really convert at the other end. And when they got that game going, they were really tough.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Clippers?
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Jordan, he's checked in for Byron Mullins. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Paul subbed in for Darren Collison.
That's his first personal.
In the last few years, it's been debated between Paul, Williams, and Rose as to who the best point guard in the league is. I think I would have to put Steph Curry in that conversation now. But I would lean towards Paul's dominance and ability to turn around the Clippers as putting him just a notch ahead of the other guys on the list.
And Clark, last season's survey of league GMs agree. Chris Paul voted the top point guard in the NBA. I don't have a problem with that, Steve. Do you?
It's either him or Tony Parker, but I could go either direction there. But what you love about Paul is that he does everything. He defends, he scores, passes. He kind of just figures out what's needed during the game, and then he delivers for his team.
Wide open look. And he drops that one in. Paul's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, you love the tenacity, guys. His will to win, his love of the game. It's just beautiful.
That he is. The shot from the low post is good. So the Heat, their last game, a win against Milwaukee.
And you just had to admire the versatility they showed offensively that day.
Yeah, their scoring came from all over the place. If one approach didn't work for them, they found another that did. Tell you what, he's 3 or 4 now. Looks like his game's on offensively.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's James. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. LeBron's got 9 points. Paul outside. Pass to Redick. Three seconds left. Misses the layup. And so the first. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
And how about the defense, guys? They have really controlled the lane with their shot blocking.
Yeah, excellent defense there. Every shot has either been altered or rejected.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball. Two teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were one play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at Los Angeles. CP3 at point with Redick there in the backcourt. Byron Mullins is out there with Griffin. And it's Crawford at the 3, the small forward. Collison, the pass to Mullins. And there's the call on Udonis Haslem. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Clark, it was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.6 seconds to go. The Spurs +5. Miami needed a miracle, and they found it in the form of timely three-point shooting and got some help from the San Antonio Spurs missing some free throws.
Game 6 was about as intense an NBA game as you'll ever see.
Oh, it was off the chart. Absolutely fantastic.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, thank you. There was a lot of thought about how the Heat could improve after they lost to the Mavs in the 2011 NBA Finals. Many called for a veteran point guard, but the team felt comfortable with who they had. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, "We felt we had one of the younger point guard tandems in the league that we can build on and offer us championship minutes right now." They grew into that role and were a big part of their back-to-back titles. Spoelstra says they earned it with their hard work, and he couldn't be happier, guys.
Thank you, Doris.
Chris Paul.
Los Angeles. Shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
You know, guys, you look at Chris Paul's path to greatness, and it's really kind of a neat story. When he was in high school, he didn't even make the varsity team until he was a junior and cracked 6 feet tall. And the school he wanted to go to, North Carolina, understandable for a kid who was in the state of North Carolina, the Tar Heels didn't even offer him a scholarship.
Well, it was a dismal start from the field for them in the first quarter, but they're finally starting to turn it around.
Well, I don't think it could have gotten any worse, partner. I mean, you figure they had all their bad misses out of the way and should be good to go now.
Crawford outside. The dive for the ball. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
And let's take a look at last season's numbers for Chris Paul. First in steals, second in assists. And he was on the top 10 list in free throw percentage, something he really did a nice job of focusing and the concentration to knock down free throws.
And, you know, going back to what you said earlier, I mean, he was a flat-out thief on defense, one of those guys that took your lunch money.
Here's Haslem. Here's Posh. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Well, that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active, be energetic, and react as soon as the shot goes up. And with Chris Paul, he ended up playing 2 seasons at Wake Forest. Led them to a Sweet 16 appearance. You know, the school retired his number 3 jersey back in March. So for a guy so lightly recruited out of high school, what an incredible achievement.
And his twin brother has been just as successful in the insurance business.
That's right, Cliff.
Yes, Cliff. Terrific. In fact, he handles my home and auto.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I have an umbrella policy through him.
You do?
Uh-huh.
He's a great assistant.
He's the best.
Yeah, wonderful. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida.
And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. I mean, they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost.
Big group substitution here for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Byron Mullins. Griffin comes in for Antoine Jamison. Jared Dudley's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Darren Collison. Tries to save it. It's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here. And sloppy play clock to be avoided at all costs.
Kevin, just take care of the ball. That's what you want to tell them. Just take care of the ball. Don't throw weak passes. Don't be careless. Don't telegraph your passes. If you keep your focus mentally, you won't make those kinds of careless mistakes.
And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And here's Miami. They're on a 10-1 run. Wade outside. Bosch heads the pick for Wade. And J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Allen for the 3. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Ball kicks it up. Los Angeles with another miss.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Knocked loose. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
14 seconds.
Here now the league's highest scoring teams the past 10 games. What a stretch it has been for these guys. The Clippers number 1.
Yeah, what an impressive run for this club. Everybody seems to be scoring well at the same time. This club is really putting up big numbers.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived, because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
Now here's LeBron. Near the three-point line, it's Wade. Can't nail the jumper. And so they foul intentionally. The Clippers have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight.
You know, you go through the regular season, guys, and set all sorts of records for your franchise and wins and winning streaks and all that. You win your division for the first time ever, your first 50-win season, and what do you get for it? Bounced in the first round of the playoffs. It's still progress, though, and I think the Clippers will use that for motivation this season.
Well, he's clearly feeling it, Clark, coming off that fantastic game last time out.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Hey, guys. Well, for Doc Rivers, the former Boston Celtics head coach and now new Los Angeles Clippers head coach, and certainly a tough emotional choice for Rivers to move on. His quote saying, "I always knew when I took the job with Boston that I would love the Celtics. I knew I would love the tradition and the players, but I had no idea how much I would fall in love with the city and the people in it. Honestly, I get emotional thinking about it. I will cherish every single moment I had in Boston." And guys, hopefully that love returned by the Beantown faithful.
Well, Doris, that fan passion can cut both ways. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. As you said, the Clippers got up 2-0 on the Grizzlies, but all of a sudden it came to a crashing halt. As Steve, they dropped 4 consecutive games, and just like that, we're out of the postseason.
Yeah, injuries played a part. Blake Griffin sprained his ankle, but I think the Clippers were exposed a little bit too. They're limited offensively on the front line. Maybe not quite enough shooting, but that's why they made the moves in the offseason. And they're looking to pick up and make some improvement in that regard.
And the basket by Chalmers.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
And Redick kicks to Barnes. And it's Jordan, that time on the assist by Barnes. And the Clippers lead by 1. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, both teams still kind of feeling each other out here, and neither team has been able to find an edge in this game.
Cole's check in for Mario Chalmers. And Griffin, here we go. Good! And now it's a 3-point Los Angeles lead.
You know, when the size advantage is that pronounced, you know, that's exactly what you should do offensively in this situation. Take it strong to the middle.
Cole dishes to LeBron. The 3. Can't get it to go.
Nothing fancy about that play. Just good, hard-nosed basketball.
Second quarter ends in a tight one. Clippers ahead. They're up by 3. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
Paul's been great. He's got 13 points, and he's knocked down 5 shots at the charity stripe. Good numbers for him.
Yeah, good numbers, and that's been important for his team. They needed some points. He's provided some easy ones at the foul line, so he's making an impact here.
For Miami, look at who they've got out there. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Haslam and Bosch up front. And it's James in at the 3-side. Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Byron Mullins is checked in for Jordan. And Antoine Jamison is subbed in for Blake Griffin. Now here's Redick. 3-pointer. That is good. Redick's got 9.
The defense sagged off, and, you know, he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that 3.
Well, it was kind of an up and down last few months for J.J. Redick. Traded away by his team of almost 7 years in Orlando. Ended up making a pit stop in Milwaukee before bouncing back to the open market. And there was certainly demand for his services. Every team in the league can use a laser shooter.
That's good. 15 points for Chris Paul.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him. And on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Now here's James. He's got 14. And he gets the bucket. LeBron's got 16. And another solid year for Redick last season with 2 different teams.
Great shooter coming out of Duke, and you really have to respect how hard he's worked to round out his game. He's become more than just a spot-up shooter. He's a team defender. He can move without the ball, but he can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim and finish. I think he's become an excellent guard in this league.
Boy, you look at the Clippers, and they clearly are one of the most entertaining teams in the NBA. One of the outstanding team shows you'll see. They have fun, they're up and down, but they're a hard-working group, and a lot of that you have to attribute to their leader, Chris Paul.
And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Wade outside. A 3-ball. Cannot hit. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. It's deflected. Here's Chalmers. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
Let's take a moment here to see the numbers Dwayne Wade put up last year. 6th in steals, 8th in scoring, and he was also a top 20 shooter from the field, so really a nice all-around offensive year for him.
And Steve, I don't think you can overstate his steal numbers. I mean, they're way up there. And it's a credit to his concentration and his quickness and his aggressiveness.
Second team foul.
Ray Allen is checked in for the Heat. And it's Paul penetrating. Redick for three. And there's the call on Bosch. That's his fourth foul of the contest.
He just picked up his fourth personal foul, and now he's got some foul trouble hanging over his head, guys.
Here's Paul. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Paul's got 6 here in this quarter. The Heat trailed by 7. Here's the 3. The shot is off. Nice D from Redick.
Good rebound there, but overall, they're getting outworked on the glass.
Steve, I think that's what you'd expect, seeing what the score is. He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
A different look for Miami. Battier comes in for Udonis Haslem. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Allen for the 3. Another shot. And it's Miami with another.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
Paul outside. Paul right side. Clock at 6. There's Crawford with the 3. And the shot is good. Crawford's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Cole. That's good.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
Now here's Paul. He's got 21. Cole's shot is good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Paul passes to Jamison. And Allen with the block. And there's the call on Matt Barnes. That is his first foul of the game. And the Heat making a change here. Anderson's checked in. 1:20 left in the third. And the shot is good. And that's now 20 points for LeBron.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. If you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Heat.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
You also can't overlook how well they've defended the rim, as they've challenged virtually every shot in the paint.
That free throw, no good.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
Crawford kicks to Collison. They get it back. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And for LeBron James this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post. Steve, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage climb as a result. The low post work, I think the selection, too. He shoots fewer three-pointers, but a higher percentage. So now, how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package. A super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score. So that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Here's Jordan. And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay mon. And not. And at the close of the third quarter, still a close game, and both teams putting up points in a hurry. Heat lead by 1. We'll get right back to the action when we return. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting. Neck-and-neck game. The Clippers trail. Crawford and Barnes filling out the wing. Antoine Jamison out there with Jordan. And it's Collison at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. James with it. Guarded now by Barnes. Wade from outside. Here's Haslam. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. He misses the free throw.
Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslam. Born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
Chris Bosh has checked in for the Heat. Chalmers comes in for Norris Cole. And back to Haslam. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence. Took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
But was really heavy back then at Florida. He had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. He went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
This could be an instant classic, fellas. I mean, this thing has all the looks of a game that's going to go right down to the last shot.
Kicks it out to Crawford. Jacks up a 3. And that one's good.
This is incredible. It's been a 3-point barrage since halftime.
Yeah, whether by design or by accident, it has been impressive.
Chalmers with it, and Crawford picks him up defensively. Good ball movement here by Miami. From deep, James. LeBron with another miss.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Well, for a guy that shoots like he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
Crawford's shot is good.
I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
Jamal Crawford has always been a steady scorer, an explosive scorer, really, and he's been something of a journeyman, too. Over the course of his 13 seasons in the league, he's played for 6 teams, and get this, 16 different head coaches. Wow.
Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Byron Mullins is checked in for Jordan. Griffin comes in for Antoine Jamison. Jared Dudley's checked in for Barnes. And it's Paul in for Darren Collison. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He talked about their problems at the free throw line, but tried not to make too big a deal out of it. He said, listen, if we keep getting to the line, the ball will start going through the net. The important thing is keep getting there. Maybe that'll take a little pressure off them, guys.
6 to shoot. Dudley dishes to Mullins. Hits the front of the rim and out. And for Crawford, 16 different head coaches. Steve, that's incredible. Do you think that lack of continuity can hold a player back and chip away at his game?
Well, it doesn't help, that's for sure. I mean, Crawford has always been productive, but it does make you think, what if he had been lucky enough to go to an organization with great stability, maybe to San Antonio with Greg Popovich, but hey, you just got to play the hand that you're dealt. Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Paul with the ball, now guarded by Haslem. Here's Griffin. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Udonis Haslem.
Griffin is doing amazing things on the court and off the court. I mean, his charisma and sense of humor really have made him one of the more marketable players in the entire league.
Going back to Griffin, he spent a summer interning with an LA-based comedy website I'm reading here. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a love for comedy, and playing in LA, that's a great opportunity for him to work on the entertainment side of things. And of course, he does have a real job with the Clippers. He's got to focus there.
He does, but those commercials he's in are fun.
They are good.
Yeah, they're good. From deep. Wade passes to Haslem. Tries again. It's rebounded by Paul. And there's an intentional foul, but I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Yeah, tough to explain that one. It looks like he just lost his focus.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Clippers.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And one other thing I would add is the mid-range game has been really impressive. I mean, they're showing great touch on some of those 15, 17-footers.
Wade kicks to Bosh. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
Well, and at this stage of such a tight game, I think this is when tired legs start to show. And the defense can become vulnerable in the low block.
The Heat trail by 6. Here's James. Can't hit. Griffin with some nice D.
Just has not been a viable option for them this quarter.
And he commits the intentional foul.
They're going to try to make him earn it from the line there, Kevin. Very interesting strategy.
Second free throw, no good. Miami's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. They get it back. Bosh dishes to Chalmers. It's LeBron with the drive. Crawford with the steal. Here's Dudley. Finishes the break with a slam.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk ball coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively, ready to react and make a play.
And the Heat call time here. They're losing by 8. There's 1:38 left to play here in the fourth. Shane Battier is checked in Haslem. There's 1:38 left in the fourth. Allen for three. Good.
Just huge. What a fantastic shot, especially against the taller defender.
Clutch shooting and determination. Plenty of skill, too.
Near the three-point line, it's Wade. But they get it back. Allen for three. Rebound by the Clippers. They've led by as much as 10. And there's the call on Bosh. That's it for him. He's fouled out. Now we'll go to the line for two. Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Miami. And so both free throws are good. It's a 7-point game.
He adds to their lead with a couple of solid free throws. Well, it's going to be tough for them, but you have to continue to compete. It's not over. Just play, see what happens.
Yep, you can't afford empty possessions.
LA's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. And now they decide to foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that stretches their lead to 8. Second one is good. And both at the line. It's a 9-point ball game. The Heat shooting here about 46% for the game. Wade passes to Haslem. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. And here are the Clippers. They're on a 13-5 run. And they double up Paul. The shot from the low post is good. And the Clippers lead by 11.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they? An excellent game we've seen from LeBron. 25 points, and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Yeah, 5 pretty big points. But
It's the first, and that brings them to within 10. And he makes both free throws. This game looks like they've got it just about wrapped up.
You're exactly right. I mean, take care of the ball, work the clock. It's a wrap.
Yep, nice game. And it's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Paul kicks to Crawford. Off target with his three. And here's Haslem.
well, it looks like their comeback hopes are out the window. I think this lead is safe now.
Yep, this one's a done deal.
And there's the call on James. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, we'll be headed to the free throw line. Allen laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass would kill a team.
So the Clippers with the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Now it's time to say so long for Clark Kellogg.